We want to get up close and personal. Pieces on the block. Today we have invited someone with a very special story. This person majored in biology at NYU and came to Korea after being captivated by Korean traditional medicine, hanbang, while preparing for medical school. After 3 attempts, they entered into Busan National University School of Korean Medicine and eventually became the first American to pass the Korean Traditional Medicine Doctor's National Examination. Nahvi Nima John, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Nima Nahvi. I'm an Iranian American, and like Peter just introduced, I'm the first American to become a Hanisa, or traditional Korean medical doctor in Korea.
It's lovely to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
So me and Nahvi, but in Korean Nabi, because we don't have the V sound, we've met before, what was it, a couple of months back, a month or two or so ago. And I was amazed because we on this show actually were searching for a little while about a foreigner who knew a bit about Oriental medicine. Okay. And even knowing just a little bit, that was really hard to find a guest like that. And then discovering that you had studied down at Busan National University and you were basically qualified, I was amazed. I was like, why did we miss this person? So you've come up from Busan as well. Yeah. You're stationed down there. You're living down there.
Right next to it, so in Yangsan, but it's like the general area.
Okay, so for our listeners who don't know you, Nahvi, could you introduce a bit about yourself, when you came to Korea, how long this process has taken?
Sure. So I came to Korea after graduating NYU in around 2013. And there was no foreigner application, unfortunately, when I applied to the school, so I had to take all the same exams Koreans did.
Is there one now?
No.
Okay, still not. Okay.
not from my understanding, not from my knowledge.
Okay.
But so I had to take the Chinese character Hanja test.
Wow.
Which I passed in like a year and a half.
Okay.
Then there's like a medical school entrance exam called MEET, which I got decent score on my second try.
Yeah.
And then an English exam, which was obviously no problem. Yeah. The biggest obstacle was, since there was no foreigner application.
Yeah.
I had to take the Korean language exam that Koreans take, not the foreigners take.
Oh, goodness.
And strangely, they had a condition for foreigners, even though they didn't have a foreigner program separately, that you have to get above a certain score. Okay. Whereas Koreans, they just have any score they can apply.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's odd, isn't it? That's
right?
a bit backwards.
That's what I was saying.
Okay.
So, again, it's like maybe a Korean person going to the US and taking like the GLE, not GLE, it's the LSATs or something. Like really, And then having to have a certain score in English, which Americans don't need to have. Yeah. That is a bit random, isn't it? Was that the most challenging part? Yeah, so I actually didn't get in for 3 years in a row because of that. Because that's like a absolute requirement that you have to have that.
Goodness gracious. So when you first came to Korea, did you not speak any Korean then?
Very little. Okay. I had done like self-study for about half a year and then took about a year of classes.
Oh, wow. And then what got you so interested in coming to Korea?
So originally it was my dream since I was a kid to be a cardiothoracic surgeon, heart surgeon. And I had to prepare myself for that. I had done a lot of like volunteer work, doctor shadowing, just patient advocate, all this stuff in a variety of hospitals. And I even had a professor from my university who was pushing me to say, if you want to go to the NYU med school, I'll write you a recommendation letter so you can go. So it was a very, very kind of set path for me at first. But over time, what I started experiencing was when I was working with post-op patients, so people who got the surgery, and a lot of them would pass away, even though the surgery was successful due to post-op complications. And I couldn't wrap my mind around this. Like, why is this happening? I asked a lot of doctors, and they told me it's just the patient's body can't handle the stress of the surgery. Oh, dear. Is what the answer I got pretty much. But I didn't accept that. I couldn't accept it because my passion is medicine. I want to help as many people as I can.
Sure, and you want them to live, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's not just like surgery is done. You're on your own now. You have to like kind of figure out a way to help these people get through that. And so I just wasn't. I felt like we're missing something. Yeah. And I needed to kind of look at the body from a new perspective, see what we're missing, what can be done to kind of help these patients. How can we increase our understanding of the pathological and physiological phenomenon of the body. So I started looking at, around, seeing what's out there, and my Korean classmate at the time told me Hanyak in Korea might be what you're looking for.
Wow. So you just so happened to have a Korean classmate?
Yeah, well, I had a lot of Korean friends growing up too.
Oh, really?
The area I live in is very Korean dominant. So
wow.
Yeah. So I took a look at it. I'm like, all right, there's something definitely here.
Yeah.
I can't tell for sure, but I think it's worth looking at.
Oh.
So I said, all right, before I continue down this medical path, let me go to Korea, take a look, see what I can do.
Yeah.
And so began my journey.
That is an amazing story. So because you were so passionate and you wanted to help your patients in some way, shape or form, that you were looking for something, not necessarily hania, but just something different, something that wasn't being offered. And then you looked at it from the States, like online, and did some research that way.
Yeah, I had a friend who was an exchange student at the time at NYU, and her older sister was currently a student in Hanide.
Okay.
At that time.
Oh wow.
So she said I can introduce you, and I took like a mini trip to Korea at one time, and I was talking with her. Yeah.
Okay.
And she actually is the one who recommended I go to the school that I went to.
Yeah.
Because it's the only school that was a graduate program. Otherwise, I would have to take sunung.
And start all over again.
Exactly.
Do the CSATs.
Exactly, yeah.
Goodness gracious.
So
there's only one
graduate school, in Korea.
Wow, in the whole of Korea for like Korean medicine.
Yeah.
And after that trip, that kind of cemented your certainty and wanted to do this?
So what the most impactful thing she said was that it's a very research-based school because they're very a lot about integrative medicine, where they're trying to take, modernize a lot of the traditional aspects of Korean medicine and then combine it with modern medicine or conventional medicine to, create the new field of integrative medicine, develop that. I was like, all right, that sounds like what I'm trying to do. So let me go take a look.
And so you've completed that course now?
Yeah, graduated, got my license 2 years ago. So I'm right now a licensed doctor of Korean medicine.
But there is an issue.
Yeah, with my visa?
Yes.
So this is the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Just because, in Korea there's a kind of saying said, seongjima. Have you heard of that?
What does that mean?
It's like the story of the farmer's horse and his son, where every time something good happens to them, something bad follows up shortly after, and it goes back and forth. Yeah.
So like one step forward, two steps back.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Yeah, something like that. But it's more like it's just a constant cycle of going good things happening, bad things happening.
Okay.
So I graduated.
That's great.
I got my license. I went to go register myself and get the visa for it. And apparently, if you have a foreigner passport, you are not allowed to be given a visa for practicing medicine.
Any kind of medicine or Korean medicine?
So originally any kind of medicine, but then they made a special, they made an exception for if you're a dentist or a conventional medical doctor.
Okay.
If you're doing a residency program in Korea.
Okay. So then you can with a foreign passport.
Yeah, just with the residency program. So you can't work in like a regular hospital.
Okay.
But the Korean medicine is not included in that either.
Oh my goodness.
So I spoke to them. They said we'd probably get you permission to do the residency if you needed to. But it's been this whole ordeal, and as of now, I still have not been able to get the visa to practice medicine.
So you are doing medical like volunteer work then?
Yeah, just nonstop medical volunteer work and research right now.
How are you managing to survive then, Nahvi?
I'm just barely getting by, but it's working somehow.
Wow, that is unbelievable because, you did a TV appearance with you together.
Yeah.
We're doing this interview, obviously, on ARIRANG Radio, but having to do that without earning money through your medical work, obviously, must be really tough. So what is the future plan for now?
So originally, my original goal was to obtain this greater knowledge of the body, and then go back to the States and finish my medical track. Okay. And now I want to do emergency medicine instead of cardiothoracic surgery. Okay. Because I feel like what I learned will be better value, or it will apply more. It can be valued more in that field. But I also don't want to leave Korea. So I applied to the medical school programs here in Korea as well, and I'm waiting to hear back.
Okay. So maybe some more study here.
Yeah, if I get it, I'm going to stay here. If not, and there's no other option, I'm going to go to the States, get my license, and then the goal is to come back here and open up an integrated medical hospital.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Open up a hospital itself. What is the appeal of staying here then, Nahvi? That wasn't your original plan.
Yeah, I mean, I came here originally just to study, but I fell in love with Korea. I mean, the culture, the people, just the environment, the fact that it's safe. I'm from New York. Yeah. I lived in New York City a lot of my life too. Yeah. Nowadays with everything that's going on, it's just crazy. And You know,
it's much more stable here.
Yeah. Like you can leave your phone out and like when you go to the bathroom in the cafe or something like that, and you come back and you know it's going to be there.
Absolutely. That kind of thing, you forget it's even a worry, right? And then you go back home for a holiday or something.
Yeah,
Like,
you leave it, you're like, oh, F me. Excuse my language. Like,
I can't do that, right? You can't even have it in your back pocket or something.
Yeah,
Someone
a lot
might
of times,
pick it out or something like that. Oh, so because you've now fallen so deeply into Korea, you're planning to, even if you have to go back and study in the US, come back and try and live here for a significant portion. That's fabulous to hear. In terms of then Korean medicine, you've learned it, you've graduated. What would you say it is in a nutshell? For people abroad who don't know about Korean medicine or Oriental medicine in general, what are like the main differences?
The main differences. So another way of thinking of it, it's probably a foreign term to a lot of people, but modern medicine is linked with this reductionism concept, where you break down everything to the smallest unit you can find, and then you study that and you kind of treat the body around that. So they specialize in like cellular level or molecular level treatments with pharmaceuticals and stuff like that. Whereas Korean medicine, just holistic medicine is another way to think about it, is you are trying to guide the body by using your knowledge of its own physiological functions to kind of restore balance between the functions of the different organs. In other words, in science, you say homeostatic conditions, right? And so a lot of the treatment methods are used to stimulate the body, to induce certain reactions, and then have those reactions kind of guide the body's process to healing itself.
To like do it by itself. You just create the right conditions for it to do that. Wow, so is that not such a thing, if at all, in Western medicine then? It's
nowadays a lot of doctors from conventional medicine, they're trying to pick up on some aspects of like that. So for example, you have in the US, you have a DO program now, which is Doctor of Osteopathy.
Okay.
And they're combining some kind of chiropractic methods as part of their training. And other aspects like that. But I think the biggest thing that sticks out is, this is actually, I didn't realize this until I was kind of 2-3 years into my studies, because it's not really well known even among Korean doctors. But the science, have you heard of acupuncture?
Okay. Sure.
So the scientific mechanism behind how acupuncture works, for I guess 70% of the cases you use it, is it actually it stimulates the release of a hormone that causes your blood vessels to expand, to dilate.
Okay.
So you're increasing blood flow to that area. And by doing that, you can kind of increase the functionality of that area or help the area recover from damage. And that concept of being able to locally induce an increase in blood flow is something that's kind of not even unheard of in conventional medicine.
Sure.
I've asked many doctors themselves, just because I want to make sure I'm not being biased towards it. I'm like, so can you think of any method? Like, no, the only thing we can think of is to give you a medication that increases blood flow all throughout the body, not just on a local level.
Everywhere. Yeah.
So it's really, it's kind of revolutionary, even though it's been in existence for like a couple thousand years.
Sure, and in this part of the world, we've believed in its efficacy for a long time. And I remember when I came here as a child, I'm half Korean, so one time in the holidays, came over, I had terrible indigestion. And one of my mum's friends brought out a needle and was like, "We're gonna puncture your thumb." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "This is gonna make you feel better." And I was like, "No, it's not. I've never seen this in the UK. I just take some medicine in the UK." And then she pricked it, and out came this like really dark red blood. And they were like, "That's it. This is gonna work." And sure enough, like within an hour or so, I felt much better. And I told my British friends when I went back, and they were like, "That's some kind of witchcraft. What are you talking about?" It's just so unknown there, and still to this day. But on the flip side, I've also heard a lot of Koreans now, because we've had Western medicine here for a good many decades now. They are, and everyone's different, but I think a lot of Koreans are saying, okay, we don't believe in hanyak or Oriental Korean medicine as much as our parents or grandparents did. And we're a bit skeptical. We want proof and things like that. So are there like limitations, or are there things that need to be more deeply scientifically proven, do you think, in your opinion?
There definitely are. I mean, I can think of a couple of things. I don't want to get into nitpicky because I don't want to
Of course.
But there definitely are some concepts that I personally just have difficulty accepting myself. And I think the biggest way to look at it, and also the biggest thing people say about the Korean medicine in that aspect, is it's not scientific.
Yeah, that's what they say, right?
But I don't know how it is in the UK, but in the US, which is a country known for scientific advancement and development, what we learned as to what science is the observation of changes in a system, in a fixed system under fixed conditions.
Yeah.
Right? So essentially it's just observations, but with a very kind of narrowed in kind of scope. And if you look at Korean medicine's history, it's been here for almost, 4,000, maybe 5,000, I don't know.
Yes.
A long amount of time. And the amount of data that they have passed on, the amount of references that they have kind of, passed on to the current generation is in and of itself scientific observations that they observed people were reacting this way to this treatment, and because there was a positive reaction, they would constantly pass it on. So just to straight out say it's not scientific, it is a very ridiculous thing to say, because science in itself is just observation.
It does seem like a very kind of modern bias, like because it hasn't been done in a lab, or it hasn't been seen with a microscope or something like that.
Exactly. So another way of thinking about it is that it's scientific, but not up to the standards that we kind of desire nowadays, because you have to eliminate room for bias and all that stuff through these very meticulous processes.
Sure.
But there also has been a lot of experiments and clinical tests run on a lot of the treatment and stuff like that. So there's a lot of information that proves that it is scientific. Like I told you, the mechanism for acupuncture.
That's been like proven.
It's been proven. It's textbook information.
Wow.
So
So is that now being taken on by a lot of Western medicine practitioners?
It's starting to. So actually, I'm trying to accelerate that. I'm trying to be a part of that process. I published 2 papers. Well, one is currently in review right now. Where we introduced a method how to connect holistic and reductionism or conventional medicine, and bridge the two so that the treatment methods of both can start to be intertwined with each other.
Wow.
And the diagnostic process too. And in this, the paper that I submitted that's in review right now, just to give a very quick summary, we talk about how changes in blood flow actually are the foundation for the development of a variety of disorders. And by being able to regulate blood flow through treatment methods like acupuncture, like the same way you experience with the thumb, you can actually provide such a greater level of healthcare for minimal cost, because acupuncture costs almost nothing to perform.
Sure.
To so many people, where you normally would never even think that these kind of treatment options are available or that they would work.
Absolutely, right.
So it's slowly starting to pick up traction. I'm trying to give it a push by my research.
Well, that's so meaningful, And since you've taken the time and the effort to come out to this part of the world where it's been established for so long, you'll get much more, I think, credence when you go back, if you go back as well. But like you said, your main aim to maybe set up something here, that's really meaningful too. We'll be back after a song. This is, I believe, your request, La La Sweet.
So I was asked what's a favorite song of mine that I used to listen to when I was going through hard times and stuff like that. And this was it's I don't know how to explain it, but it really kind of perks you up if you listen to it. So
My Old Orange Tree. I don't think I've ever heard this song. How did you come across La La Sweet?
Someone recommended it to me actually a while ago. I was just like, if you're ever feeling down, this song it's like a self-motivational kind of feeling you get.
Oh, nice. Okay, so 나의 낡은 오렌지 나무. We'll be back in part 2 with more questions for Nahvi. We're back for part 2. Peter's on the block on this Solal extravaganza. Tomorrow is the day of Lunar New Year's Day, I should say. And we've got Nahvi in the studio, Nahvi Nima John, who has graduated from Busan National University School of Korean Medicine, the graduate program, and is really keen on combining that with conventional Western medicine. So many of you are interested in this and asking questions. And I remember when I first started learning about it, it was a bit odd. Like I said, I was very fearful of getting pricked with a pin for indigestion when I was about 9-10 years old. But it really made me consider, there must be other ways of doing things. And maybe they're not all right, but there's a completely different side of things that you can learn from different cultures. It wasn't just the medical thing. It's just like a point of view of the world thing. Like different cultures just come up with different ways of thinking. Leon from Singapore is saying, good morning and happy Lunar New Year to Dr. Nahvi Nima John. How many solars have you spent here, by the way, now? Do you think it is, roughly?
like 11, 12 now. It's been a good amount of time since I've been here.
What do you do during these holidays? Because I know for many foreigners back in the day, it used to be quite lonely because you don't have family here. You don't have friends.
It used to be that I was kind of on my own for the most part. But nowadays, one of my hobbies is Latin dance.
Oh,
so
wow.
I dance sensual bachata.
Oh, nice.
And they have a lot
Did you pick that up here?
Yeah.
Is there a big community?
It's a huge community here.
Really? Down in Busan as well?
All over the country, yeah.
Amazing.
So nowadays they always throw parties for people who kind of don't have family plans for settling out and stuff like that.
Are there many foreigners in these groups?
Good amount. Not I'd say maybe like 5 to 10 for every 30, 40 Koreans, something like that, yeah. It's not a small amount, but not significantly great amount either.
Oh, wow. So that can occupy your soul hours
or
your...
And not just Seollal, but also Chuseok,
Fantastic. And Leon goes on to ask, I would love to know about your journey and your background. So how do you think your experience as an Iranian American influenced your perspective on healing and medicine before coming to Korea? So, you grew up in the States, but you've got an Iranian heritage.
Right.
I don't know what it's like there. Is there any equivalent to this there?
In Iran, they did have traditional medicine in Iran. I think there still are some practitioners of it now. Actually, one of the greatest influential physicians of history who was well known even in the Western world. Abu Ali Sino. He wrote the book Canon of Medicine.
Okay.
And it was like revolutionary at that time. Wow. It was he's like the Hojun of Korea, but like for globally at that time.
Amazing.
There's a lot of they have their own traditional background, and actually some parts of my family they say stuff like you shouldn't drink milk and fish together because they both have kind of cold characteristics to them. That
is very Korean.
And
right?
I was like, what do you mean? Because just trust me on it. And then later on, I found out through like studying integrated medicine, they're both require a lot to digest.
So that's what brings your body temperature down.
Well, it's not the temperature itself, but it's a consumption of energy. Because you're sending so much energy to that area, your body becomes sluggish, and then sluggishness is kind of associated with cold environments. So that's like they summarized it by saying cold, but without really knowing what the actual thing was, but it made sense. So.
And there is that kind of belief in Iran, traditionally speaking. That was the thing that confused me the most, right, here in Korea, when they were talking about certain foods to heat you up and certain foods to cool you down, not necessarily linked to the temperature that they served. Right. And so I think it was ginseng that a lot of people said, if you've got a body that runs really hot, then maybe it's not great for you because it will help even heat your body up more.
I can actually give you a very detailed explanation of that if you're interested.
Please, yeah. So ginseng is so big here as well.
So the foods that heat you up and cool you down is not just about temperature. I think the most accurate way to explain it using kind of conventional medical terms is it has to do with metabolism and energy production or consumption. So foods that are cold in nature and they kind of cool you down, they say, are foods that they require a lot of energy to metabolize. And so you have to divert a lot of resources to breaking those down. And so that kind of brings your body's activity on other areas down. Whereas foods that are very hot in nature, like ginseng, they actually have to do with increasing your metabolism. So actually, and this is part of the research I did, because one of the prescriptions I use for herbal medicines has ginseng in it. And it's now that I know the effects of it, I can use it so much more efficiently. Essentially, it increases blood absorption of glucose from your blood through a non-insulin based mechanism.
Is that good for us then?
It's wonderful because it can also be used as a diabetic medication.
Really?
Yeah. So to get rid of the blood sugar and stuff like that. And the reason why it causes you to generate a lot of heat is because when you increase glucose absorption, you use up, naturally your body just uses up more of it. And through the process of breaking down sugars, you release heat.
So that's where you feel hot.
That's where the heat comes from,
That's so interesting. And the other thing was, I think, ginseng as well. Like that when I drink it, it's kind of got that spiciness to it.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I think I do run a bit hot. So when I eat too much ginseng and then too much, what's it called? Ginger is what I meant. Ginger as well. I feel super hot and I get really sweaty. And maybe it's good for my body, but I don't feel comfortable. Like I feel sticky
I know what you mean.
and horrible. And so I kind of avoid those when I know I'm going to be in a warm environment as well. And when my mum was talking about that, I was like, at first, this is nonsense. And then when I experienced it firsthand, after taking these supplements and things, I was like, oh my goodness, like there is definitely something behind this. I must say, I have not got on board with acupuncture and things like that because I haven't had much experience.
Right.
But the first time was in the UK. There's a career town in London, in New Malden. And so I was having problems with my knee playing football and nothing was working. Plus the NHS just takes forever. So my mum was like, go down to New Malden. You can get seen today. And they did like this acupuncture linked with like electric shocks as well.
Electroacupuncture.
Which kind of like stimulates your muscles and they kind of twitch, right? Yeah. And it didn't like make it worse at all, but it didn't seem, I couldn't feel instantly that my knee was better or anything. Okay. And you know, in Western medicine, I don't know, we're kind of looking for quick payoffs. Like you take paracetamol, your headache's gone straight away. So I didn't stick with it. But hearing about the research behind it, increasing the blood flow and things like that, it makes me want to try it more because there are so many reasonably priced clinics in Seoul and Korea. Yeah. And I'm getting older, so aches and pains are increasing. So I definitely love to try more things to help me be more flexible.
Actually, in regards to that, so a lot of the research that I do, I also draw information from the clinical practical guidelines. That's online. Anyone can access that if they go. The beginning part's in English, but then the full detailed explanation is in Korean. So if whoever wants to try access that. Acupuncture for knee pain, actually, they proved clinically that it is very effective.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how that person specifically treated you when you got the treatment, but the treatment that they recommend in the clinical practice guidelines, I've taken that kind of, what's the saying? I've got in verbatim. They in the same way. I use it the same way. And every person I've treated so far, within 15 minutes, they've shown positive reactions.
Amazing. In that short amount of time as well. That's unbelievable. Leon goes on to ask, have you seen in your time here in Korea an increase in interest in Korean medicine internationally? Like, because all things K at the moment seem to be booming. So is K medicine going to be a thing?
Yes, and actually, I didn't know this because I didn't see the show, but there's a really popular show that came out, I think, on Netflix, K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yes, fantastic.
They talk about Korean medicine in that show, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know that. And my professor that I'm working the research with together, he told me, I was like, should we include this in the paper? To get people more interested in it.
That would be a good way to get more eyes on your paper for sure. Like all K-pop Demon Hunters fans would go crazy. So my writer was telling me, you're doing a paper at the moment.
So we submitted. Okay, so we published one. Yeah. Used that to write the second one, which we submitted. It's in under review right now.
So what's the main crux of that?
So that's we introduce a reimagined understanding of hemodynamics, which is just blood flow, fancy way of saying blood flow. And we explain how changes in blood flow due to stress, essentially, is the foundation for the development of like numerous diseases.
Oh, wow.
So have you heard, I don't know if they have the same saying in English. In Korean, they say stress는 만병의 원인.
Oh, yeah. Like,
stress is the cause of 10,000 diseases. Yeah. We proved why.
Oh, wow.
we demonstrated why, essentially, rather than saying proved. We demonstrated.
So through stress, your blood flow is affected.
Yeah. So essentially, your sympathetic nervous system becomes activated. And it constricts blood vessels throughout your entire body.
Wow.
And normally, for a short period of time, it's okay. It's all right also for like exercise and stuff like that. But the problem is chronic stress. Yeah. So when you have constant stimulation of the system and you're constricting blood vessels throughout the body, each area is actually going to kind of react differently to it because certain areas are more sensitive to reduced blood flow than others. And there's also like other mechanisms that cancel it out. But you're going to start seeing problems in each different part of the body, depending on your body itself and how you can resist it. So we use that understanding to propose new pathological models for functional dyspepsia, which is indigestion. Yeah. And do you know IBS, irritable bowel syndrome?
Yeah, I've had that.
So we propose new models that we feel very confident with.
Wow.
And we're building on this for the next two papers to include tension type headaches, fibromyalgia, and my one I'm really excited for is depression.
And so in these papers, you're trying to come up with solutions for that? Like in terms of not being stressed to cause those pathways? Or?
Well, we do introduce certain methods that you can use for treatment, but we're the main focus is presenting the model of pathology of how it's happening, why it's happening,
from the stress to the actual
illness.
illness.
to the symptoms. Yeah. So by understanding why they're happening and how it's happening, then you can target medications and treatments to better, deal with those.
So in the Western world, I think we accept that stress is not good for your health, but not in a specific way then. Have we not done this in Western medicine?
Well, the funny thing is, like, anywhere in the world, too much stress is bad for you. It'll cause health problems. You have to relax. That's about all they contribute to it.
That's true.
I think from my knowledge, the work we're presenting in this paper is the first actual depiction, step by step, of how stress leads to these illnesses.
Wow.
And it's right now it's more linked to functional illnesses, which is illnesses that you don't have a structural, like the structural damage is not there. But it's just you have symptoms and functional problems. But we also linked in the paper as well how functional illnesses actually might be part of a spectrum that lead to structural diseases. So like I don't know if you heard of IBD, inflammatory bowel disease.
Okay.
So that's like more structural inflammation damage based illness when compared to IBS, which is IBS is more functional issue. There's no like actual damage done to it. But in this paper we also demonstrated that IBS actually in its end stages leads to inflammatory processes, and then if these inflammatory processes are continued, they might lead to IBD.
Okay.
So it's like an entire spectrum where you start with chronic stress and it causes decreased blood flow, leads to indigestion, which leads to IBS, which leads to IBD. And then now that you understand the flow of it, or I have another kind of angle at looking at it, you can start targeting more treatments and medicines for that.
Wow, so really being specific with how this is affecting
it paints the entire picture out. I think it's the first time that, from my understanding, that someone has actually drawn out the entire kind of diagram.
I'm sure that would be ever so helpful for medicine globally, right? Mr. Teo also asks, does Korean traditional medicine differ greatly from traditional Chinese medicine? Do you know about that?
Yeah, so there are differences. There's a lot of overlaps as well. I'd say maybe 70% is roughly the same.
Okay.
30% differs, because the two fields are actually, they kind of like developed in parallel to each other. And what's interesting is, this is a very unexpected finding for myself, but I had taken an archaeology class as part of my undergraduate program way back when. And I discovered that the first use of acupuncture was actually recorded as being in what's nowadays modern North Korea.
Oh, wow.
The first evidence of acupuncture.
Really? Ever?
Yeah. So like 5,000 plus years ago, they found evidence of bone needles that were being used for medical purposes.
Amazing.
And in learning the history of Korean medicine in the program I went to, they said that there was a one point in time where different regions of Asia were recognized for their expertise in different treatment methods.
Oh.
So I can't remember the exact details of all of them, but like the Western region, mostly referring to China, was like better with herbal medications, where the southern region was better with like moxibustion, northern region was better with like cupping and stuff like that. And they say specifically the eastern region, in this case is referring to Korea, is expert at acupuncture.
Oh, really? That's our forte.
Yeah. So it's been like, there's been overlap and then divergence, and I don't know the specific of how much it's different now, but I know for sure there's definitely unique treatment methods in both fields.
But a lot of overlap as well. Interesting. We'll be back with our quiz in part 3 for you, Nahvi. We've got something up your alley. This is Plav's Bongsunga. We're back for part 3. Peter's on the block with Nahvi Nima John, who is an American Iranian descent, graduated from Busan National University School of Korean Medicine, passed the Korean Traditional Medicine Doctor's National Examination in Korean as well, which is mighty impressive. Did you grow up like speaking Iranian or Farsi?
Farsi, yeah. You could say either one. Okay. So actually, technically Farsi was my first language because my mom, when she came here before I was born, she couldn't really speak English. So she would speak to me and my sister in Farsi the entire time.
So before school, maybe it was your native tongue. Yeah. Fantastic. Because I always find if you've got more exposure to another foreign language, then maybe picking up Korean or any other foreign language is easier when you're older. And some people who haven't had that exposure really struggle, because your Korean is amazing. We did a broadcast together and that was unbelievable. And to obviously study Korean medicine in Korean. So your dreams for the future, the end goal is to set up a clinic here, combining the two.
The end goal is to set up a hospital. Like a general hospital.
Wow.
Massive project. Because
that has both of these elements.
Both, yeah.
And is there anything like that in Korea?
Not integrated into one.
Okay.
There are a lot of university hospitals
Yeah.
and even smaller scale hospitals where they have like those doctors working parallel together. But or sometimes they have like the conventional medical hospital here, and then right next to it is the Korean medical hospital.
Yeah.
So like they send patients back and forth.
Sure.
But there has yet to be like successful integration where you apply both treatment methods simultaneously, or both diagnostic methods simultaneously for patient care, which is what we really hope to.
Why do you think that hasn't happened? Because your curiosity is really interesting, but surely in Korea, where we have both,
Right.
you know, there would have been people who would have thought, let's put it together.
Yeah, there actually have been a lot of attempts. Unfortunately, because of the kind of approach and how drastically different they are, it's really hard to find parallels, like one-to-one parallels between the concepts of two medicines.
Really?
Which is actually why we were so excited about the first paper we published, because we believe we found the bridge to connect them, and we introduced that in the paper.
That's fantastic. Such an interesting person to be talking to, but this field as well, I'm sure it's going to develop and come on leaps and bounds, and hopefully more people will are persuaded by your paper to see the potential in this as well. All right, now it's time to get a little less insightful, perhaps. It's quiz time on Pieces on the Block, but this is optional because our writer really does work hard to try and challenge the guest in their area of expertise.
I'm feeling
so we've had quite a few wrong answers. So that's why we say we're apparently legally obliged to give you a choice on the quiz.
I might add to the statistic of wrong answers.
But if you feel like, I don't want to embarrass myself, I don't want to get it wrong, then you can say no to the following question.
Let's hear it.
Will you take the quiz?
Yes, I'll take the quiz. Let's go.
So you get at least one ding-dong-dang for saying you will take the quiz. But if you get the quiz question right, you also get a prize out of that box of colourful balls.
The pressure's on. Let's go.
Okay, so you know that the book that represents Korean traditional medicine, the Dongi, it's a medical encyclopedia from the Joseon dynasty that contains everything from the cause of disease to treatment and prevention. It's listed as a UNESCO World Documentary Heritage. Who wrote this book?
Hajun, my
is
man
not
Hajun.
The question.
No, he baited me there.
So our writer does that deliberately as well. People are like, oh, that's easy, but it's not that. So this Dongi Bogbab contains the core philosophy of Korean traditional medicine, that the body and mind are connected as one.
Yeah.
Then, what is the 4-character idiom that expresses this concept, the 사자성어?
Okay.
It's a subjective question initially, but if you would like, we do have multiple choice.
Okay.
So if you can get it off the bat, that's amazing. If not, no worries.
So I'll tell you what I know, because I remember this.
Wow.
I don't know if it's exactly this, like 심신일초 or something like that, 심신일체.
Wow, okay.
But if I don't think that's perfect, so I will take the multiple choice back up.
Okay, all right. Well, our writer is sneaky in that she's picked out three 4-character idioms that also sound quite similar.
Okay.
So number 1, 심신 수양.
Okay.
Number 2, 심신 일려.
Okay.
Or number 3, 심신 안정.
심신일려.
Number 2?
Yeah, number
Final
2.
answer?
100%.
You did get the first 3 characters, even without the hints there. So well done, Nahvi. Amazing. Yeah, so apparently the other ones, 심신 수양 means cultivating body and mind.
Right.
And the third one, 심신 안정, means body and mind stability. Whereas 심신 일려, which I've never heard before, I don't think, body and mind is one.
Is one, yeah.
Wow. Okay, well done, Nahvi. That was impressive.
Oh,
so
nice.
Pick
I'm
something
excited.
out from
Let's
here. You choose whichever color you want. Random. Just random, anything you like.
This pink one's looking nice.
Okay, and then if you open that up and read what it says on there, there are some great prizes like a 100,000 won restaurant voucher, but there are also terrible prizes as well. What did you pick? It sounds terrible by your laugh.
I mean, the concept, it sounds pretty awesome, but when you read the last part of it, you're like, so should I read it first?
Yes, please.
애국심 끌어오르는 왕 볼펜.
Wang ball pen, a king pen, and you get it straight away. Our producer Minnie is here to deliver it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It's actually a king pen.
It is. It's got a little king on there.
And
it's got Kwang on there as well. Congratulations, Nahvi. Thank you so much for coming on the show. A last message to our listeners out there, maybe interested in this field.
Sure. First, I'd say always follow your dreams because that's what got me to this stage.
Oh.
And I really think people shouldn't be too dismissive of Korean medicine. It's been a lot of scientific data backing it up nowadays. I can recommend a lot of sources for anyone who's interested, at a future time.
Can people find you on social media?
Yeah, so I actually have a YouTube channel.
Oh, fantastic.
It's not like a really well-to-do channel. It's
no
bare
problem.
minimum.
Yeah.
But I post videos for explaining certain concepts of Korean medicine. And also just like how to manage your health using kind of just better understanding of certain things.
What do people need to search?
So Nahvi in Korean.
Yep.
Nahvi 의학.
Nahvi 의학.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it should come up. I haven't uploaded a video in a while because I've been busy with my papers.
Of course.
But once they're published, I also plan to list the papers on that, make a video of that, and I'm plan to constantly update it. So
that's brilliant. All right, please search him out there. That was really inspirational as well, Nahvi. And I hope we can have you back on the show because you're down in Busan.
Yeah.
Asking you to come up every week. I feel a bit bad, but if you're ever back in the capital, let us know.
Of course, I'd love to come. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll have a song to take out, Nahvi. We'll close off today and be back for our Solal special tomorrow. This one is Kim Sejong's Two Saram, Two of Us. It's been your Daily Dose of Korea. #DailyK out. Bye-bye.